met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Located on the north side of Fort Worth, Texas, the construction of Texas Motor Speedway began in the spring of 1995 and required the movement of more than 4 million cubic yards of earth before it was completed the following year. The oval originally featured unique dual-angle banking, and its first major race, a NASCAR Xfinity Series event in April of '97, was won by Mark Martin. Jeff Burton won the first NASCAR Cup Series race there the following day in front of a sellout crowd of over 200,000. 2 months later, Kenny Irwin Jr. won the first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race held at TMS. The track has been good to Dale Earnhardt Jr. He won his first ever Xfinity Series race there in 1998, and then 2 years later won his first Cup Series race. Shortly after Jr.'s Xfinity Series win, the oval was reconfigured, eliminating the 8-degree section of dual-angle banking. Tonight, it's the LSR Gaming X Lonestar Shootout 100, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Texas Motor Speedway for tonight's Lonestar Shootout 100 presented by LSR Gaming X. 100 laps the race distance here tonight. 72-degree ambient temperature, 55% humidity, clear skies, 2-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temperature, 112 degrees. That's going to cause some issues for these drivers as far as the handling characteristics of the track are concerned. Going to be a tough one for these guys here tonight. 150 miles the race distance. 2 tire changes available, 2 change sets over the wall, and a 60% max fuel capacity for all the drivers to work their strategies around. With that, practice still underway here at the Speedway. Let's go down trackside to see where everyone's stacking up. Drew Blaze fastest thus far with a 30-20. 42 of Kevin Winker, second quick, 30-23. Another 30-23, the double zero of James Ray. TJ Elaine, fourth quick with a 24, and Watkins a 30-25. And then Johnson in the 10, a 30-26. 0.6 of a second, not even, 0.06 of a second, separating the top 6 drivers here in the practice session. Times continue to stay tight through the rest of the top 10. Brandon Domain a 32, Howell a 32, Couch a 34, Shepard a 36. So a 10.5 from the best to 10th. Drew Blaze with the Victoria's Secret paint scheme this week. Interesting. That might just be Drew being funny, or maybe we got to reload and refresh the paint. So we'll give that a shot here just to be sure. Thinking that might just be Drew Blaze having fun. Blaze gets a piece of the wall on entry to 1 there. And there it is. All the paints are up to date. So Drew Blaze with the Victoria's Secret colors on his truck tonight. Again, this is the final race of the season. Before we get too deep into qualifying here, as that's going to start here in just a moment. Let's take a look at the point standings coming into tonight. Drew Blaze, the points leader at 929 points. Chris Watkins in second, 882. Brandon Domain, 881. Some very close point standings here outside the Drew Blaze position. Drew pretty much has this thing locked up unless something crazy happens. And again, tonight it is the LSR Gaming X on Twitch, Lonestar Shootout 100. Qualifying session has begun. We'll watch James Ray roll out of pit lane first. James out of Highland, Illinois. Just using my ear alone, it doesn't seem like James is really wide open into the throttle here. I don't know if this is going to be a complete throwaway lap number one, or if he's just trying to get out there, turn a couple of slow laps because he intends to start near the rear. We have seen guys do that. Truck sounds a little more up to speed here. More RPM at the stripe. That first lap for Ray was a 31.703. Brandon Domain, top time 30.39 for the time being. Kevin Grettenberger goes top of the board. James Ray across the stripe goes second quick. Definitely faster lap two, 30.304 for James Ray. Domain's finished up at 30.30. Brian Shepard out on the racetrack. Ken Couch goes to the point. Didn't take long, though. The 5 of Chris Watkins takes it over at a 30.25. Shepard out of turn 4, back to start finish. First lap in the books for the 88 machine. It's a 30.32, 6 quick. Drew Blaze on the track, his first lap 13th fast, 30.773. Remember, Drew was fastest in the practice session. Drew coming into tonight as the points leader. Not a whole lot to lose unless something crazy happens. Maybe really going full send here tonight. Second lap for Blaze. It's fastest, 30.240. Drew Blaze goes top of the board here late in the session. Jarrett Woodard in this 79 truck, 30.593 on his first lap, and I think he had a moment there in turn number 2. Had to get out of the throttle quite a bit. Lap 2 for Woodard. Yeah, that's exactly what we thought there. Problem out of turn 2. 31.354 for Woodard. Chris Klein finishes up lap 2, 30.606, puts him 16th. Sean Robertson is 66, a 30.59 his first time. .487, the final lap of the session for Roberts as qualifying comes to a close. There we go. Just checking to make sure the stream chat's working. GF Snyder 88. Hello? Hello, GF Snyder 88. Well, we have the moment here. Let's take a look here at our starting grid. Now that qualifying has come to a close, on the pole position for the final regular season race of the year, it's going to be Drew Blaze, lap time 30.240. Outside front row, it's the 5 of Chris Watkins. He missed it by 9/1000ths of a second. Second row, it's Ken Couch and Heath Snyder. Starting in row 3, Kevin Winker and Brandon Domain. Starting in row 4, James Ray in the 00 and the 88 of Brian Shepard. Starting 9th, it's Mitchell Howell, the number 93. Kevin Grettenberger, the number 57 Whataburger machine. Starting in the 10th spot. Starting 11th, it's Jared Haynes. 12th, 66 of Sean Roberts. 13th, Ed Marshall. Randy Coaching will start 14th. Jarrett Woodard, 15th. Chris Klein from NTR, the number 51 machine, will start 16th. Brett Guzik, last week's winner, the 04, will start 17th. Justin Johnson in the 10, making it back here for tonight's race. He'll start 18th. And TJ Elaine was fast in practice. I don't know if he took a time in qualifying or just opted to start out back, but he's going to start 19th tonight. Ken Blackburn's going to round out the field in the 20th position. It's your starting grid for tonight's LSR Gaming X Lonestar Shootout 100. Going green here momentarily. Bill Harkin says, should be able to get between 29 and 31 laps on a tank of fuel tonight. Bill, you are my hero. And it's always a question that, well, 9 out of 10 times I forget to ask, and it's so important, and I usually remember it about 15 to 20 laps into the race, like, oh man, I should have asked that question. So Bill, thanks for helping us out. 29 to 31 laps, the fuel window this evening. Again, 100 laps, the race distance. Field rolls out of pit lane here. One pace lap, typically. Once in a while, you'll see him extend it to make sure everybody's formed up 2 by 2. Nice and organized. Bill Harkins, I believe you were one of the emails that I've responded to recently about broadcasting. If that was you and you haven't gotten it, please let me know, and I'll see if I can reach back out to you, or find me here in the Discord. That works probably best. It's certainly faster. Dan Storm showing up in the timing and scoring. I'm not sure if he's going to make the field tonight or if he's just here as a watch or if he's just still trying to get loaded in. Maybe he's late. He wasn't there during qualifying and he's not on the track now. Pace car hits pit lane.
Green flag.
Green flag is in the air and we're underway from Texas Motor Speedway. Drew Blaze out with a good jump. Heath Snyder looking to the bottom, the number 29, that black, white, and red truck. Had a run out of turn number 2, gets underneath the 5 of Watkins. Moves Snyder up into the 3rd spot. Drew Blaze at the stripe. He's going to lead lap number 1. Blaze already out to a 6.5 of an advantage here over the 08 of Ken Couch and the 29 of Heath Snyder in the third spot. Kevin Winker back to fourth. Watkins now fifth. Watkins dropped 3 spots in the first lap and a half. On board with Ken Couch as Heath Snyder is trying to attack for that second spot, looking to the inside into turn number 3. Kevin Winker's going to try and take advantage here as well. Couch might lose a couple of spots. Snyder's certainly clear in the dog leg. Still the battle now for the third spot. Kevin Winker, the number 42 on the bottom side, out of turn number 2. Gets real flat there on exit. Oh, Winker misses the bottom. He slides up the track a bit in front of Ken Couch. It almost looked like a mistake. It might have been intentional, and if it wasn't, it really worked out for him because it sent the 42 up in front of the 08 in the same lane. It really blocked the run out of Ken Couch, whether it was intentional or otherwise. Tower operator in the stream chat, hashtag Winker Nation. Good to have you back. Drew Blaze still with the race lead, and that deficit has shrunk slightly as Heath Snyder's jumped into that second spot. Starting to reel in the one ever so slightly. Last lap for Drew Blaze was a 30.45. Heath Snyder about a 10th quicker with a 34. Now it's 4/10 and closing. In, Drew Blaze still with the race lead, but it was gone from a 3/4 to almost a full second advantage down to just over 3/10 out of turn number 2. The one of Drew Blaze still enjoying that race lead, but for how long? Top 3 really all starting to form back up together. Blaze still out in front and maintaining now a 0.3 of a second advantage over Heath Snyder. It's just a little bit faster each lap for the 29. Though I will say Blaze was about a 0.5 quicker the last lap. Starting to wonder here if the dirty air that Drew Blaze is putting out behind his truck is what's affecting the 29 of Snyder. So we've already got a lap truck coming into the fray here. It looks like Dan Storm did finally make it into the race. And up until this point right now, he managed to get in and stay on the lead lap, but at the stripe, Storm goes down 1 lap here, 11 laps in, puts 1 marker, 1 truck between the race lead and second place, Heath Snyder. Adds a little breathing room between Drew Blaze and the 29 truck. Kevin Winker, though, staying with Heath Snyder all over the tailgate of that Abruzzi Chevy Silverado. Storm up the racetrack's going to let second and third place work their way on by on the bottom side. Chris Watkins is starting to close back in as well. Winker looking to the bottom in turn 3. Didn't think he had enough of a run to do it, but he certainly took a look. Snyder was keen to it, jumped back down in front of the 42, and it really slowed the momentum of Kevin Winker. Back to the start-finish line. Winker still running in third. A little more distance between the 42 and the 29. Checking further back into the top 10, the number 93 of Mitchell Howell is looking for that pink-colored paint scheme we've been used to seeing all October long. Of course, well, now it's November, and Breast Cancer Month is over. Got to relearn some of these schemes, but side-by-side for position, Howell and Domain out of turn number 4. This will be for the 7th spot. Domain's got it at the line for now. Howell not giving up. Domain's going to have him clear as Grattenberger starts to close the gap. Well, maybe not. Howell keeps after it. Domain finally gets clear. Move the 13 up into the 7th spot. Domain actually started up in P6, lost a few spots early on, is starting to work his way back. Ooh, Grattenberger just to the right rear of the 93. Almost some contact. That's a bad spot. Grattenberger up top side now. Continuing to watch this fight for position. Howell on the bottom side of the racetrack. Kevin Grattenberger slips up out of the groove. Into the loose stuff a bit, but still carries a little bit more momentum out of turn 4. Back to start finish. Grattenberger with the position, but still side by side. The battle continuing into turn number 1. Brian Shepard now closing in behind both of these trucks. Just waiting for something to happen where he can take advantage and maybe get a 2-for-1 special here. And he's looking to the bottom side of the racetrack off turn number 2. Not enough of a run to make it happen. Awfully optimistic for the number 88 of Brian Shepard. Brett Guzik, meanwhile, up in the 11th spot, and we got a car spinning, and it's Brandon Domain involved. Looks like maybe Ken Couch as well. Domain parked the wrong direction off turn number 4. Couch is going to dump it down pit lane here. Lap 17 in the books here, first caution of the afternoon. Domain actually ends up towing from turn 4 to pit lane here, so let's see what happened exactly. Put us under this caution flag. Oh, big time contact, right reared big time by Ken Couch. That's at full speed here. Let's try to break this down, unpack it a bit, and see how exactly this one went down. Trying to get the best angle on it. We'll watch it here from one of our blimp angles. Watching the 13, his distance off that white line doesn't really change until contact is made. Big time impact really for both of these trucks. One faster pair for them to use tonight, so they're not out of this yet, but it certainly puts them in a deficit early on. Drivers already coming down pit lane to at least get fuel. Watch this a little bit differently here. Let's go on board with Ken Couch. Go on the roof cam here, slow things down. Drivers getting into turn 3 here. You see Domain just coming into the left of the frame. Yeah, Couch is starting to come down. There may have been a little bit of net code there. As you see, Couch actually goes right into the back of Domain's truck. I'll back it up further here. We got another angle we can look out the right side of Domain's truck. This may be the telltale right here. You know, I want to say net code, but they got pretty close. With or without it, I think they would have made contact anyway. And if you get into somebody's right rear mid-corner, that's typically going to be the end result about every single time. Brandon Domain in the stream chat. Well, glad that we are virtual. Yes, so are we. That would have been a bad one for everybody involved. Brandon Domain continues to sit in pit lane. I don't know if he's waiting on the tow still, or if he didn't have that fast repair checked, because there is one available. Looks like everybody went to pit lane, or did they? Drew Blaze shows pit lane time, but I don't see that he stopped. It's also showing 1 minute and 26 seconds in the pits for Drew Blaze. That doesn't seem accurate. I think we've got a timing and scoring error here, so we'll just ignore that for the time being. Nevertheless, Drew Blaze still out in front of this field. Kevin Winker in the second spot. Heath Snyder, Chris Watkins, James Ray going to round out the top 5. Drew Blaze might be having some problems here as he hits the inside wall here under caution. That or he spilled his beer, I don't know. I don't condone drinking and driving, folks. This is virtual. This isn't real. Though I have lost a race due to someone spilling their beer mid-race. Somehow I got a penalty for it. I wasn't the one spilling the beer, though. Different conversation for another time. $20 laps in already here at Texas Motor Speedway. They click by in a hurry. Appears that we are on the 1 to go here, so next time by lap 21. Should see the green flag. Drew Blaze is going to lead him down. Kevin Winker will be to his outside. It looks like Heath Snyder, Chris Watkins, James Ray, Kevin Grettenberger, your first 3 rows. Brett Guzik starting from the back, already up into the 8th position. Again, Guzik, I think, had a end-of-line penalty to serve at the start of this race due to his win last week. Pace car pulls hard left down pit lane. Wait for Barney the flagman to wave the green here as we get back underway from Texas Motor Speedway. Lap 22 up on the board. Blaze still out in front, looking very strong here at Texas. 0.3 of a second. Back to the 29 of Heath Snyder. Kevin Winker runs third. Watkins fourth. Ray fifth. Keep a close eye here in the 96 of TJ Elaine. Again, opting to start. I think it was from the 19th position here tonight. TJ in the number 96 machine working his way back through. He's up to 14th, picking them off one at a time. Side-by-side battle between Ed Marshall and Chris Klein. This all for the 11th position. Klein dives into the bottom, puts a nose out in front of the 16. Still side by side coming out of turn number 2. Again, it gets real flat on exit here. Very difficult to keep the truck underneath you. And TJ Lane, a little bit of contact, sends him down into the bottom of the backstretch, gathers it back up. Bill Harkins clarifying they waived all win penalties due to last race of the season. Brett Guzik opted to not qualify this evening. His position set based on I rating only. Thanks for the heads up, Bill. Appreciate that. Chris Klein slips back just a bit as Marshall now in the 10th position. Ryan Shepard in behind the 04 of Guzik, just ahead of Guzik. You've got a battle for position between Mitchell Howell and Kevin Grettenberger. That has continued since prior to our first caution. This all going down here for the 6th position. Guzik's going to jump into the mix as well. They're 3 wide down the backstretch. Still 3 wide in the middle of 3. Howell lifts just a bit, tucks in behind the 57. Grettenberger slides up the track a bit. Howell goes with him. Guzik keeps her pinned on the bottom here, now back to start finish. Guzik's going to tuck in behind both Grettenberger and Howell, move Guzik to 8. Guzik now to the inside on Mitchell Howell. This now for the 7th position. Guzik is strong just about everywhere we have gone this season in these trucks, but he's not setting the world on fire, at least right now. Now, I'll say that with a little bit of a grain of salt just for the fact that it is Brett Guzik. He's not going to show his hand this early on. He's going to pick up positions as he can, but he's not going to destroy the tires in the meantime. Now Marshall that is jumps to the inside of Brett Guzik, now for position. While checking on things back out front, Drew Blaze still your race leader, but not by much. It's just over a couple of tenths. Back to the 29 of Heath Snyder. Lap 29 up on the board as they exit turn 2 down the backstretch. Blaze gets the best run there. Now it's 0.3 of a second. He's doubled the deficit back to the 29. Jarrett Woodard exiting pit lane. Things cooling off here at the front of the field. We'll go back and check on the battles between Howell, Marshall, and Guzik. Guzik still running back in the 9th spot. Ryan Shepard now knocking on the tailgate of the 04. We got Alina. I think it's Alina. Alina. Sorry if I'm butchering it. It says, go Haynes, love wifey and Rhea? I don't know how it's pronounced. Drew Blaze, though, from the race lead, he's jumped down pit lane. Remember, he did not stop on that caution, didn't take any fuel, so this is right to the edge of his fuel capacity. He's going to make this pit stop under the green flag from the race lead. Right side tires going on for now. Fuel going in. Crew goes around to the left side. He's going to go down a lap here. Drops the jack, 14.32 seconds. A lightning fast stop for Drew Blaze, but either way, loses the lap. Now the battle for the top spot. It's 3 wide. Winker, Snyder, and Ray. Now it's down to 2. The 42 on the bottom, that's Kevin Winker. Up top, Heath Snyder, the number 29 machine. Jarrett Woodard, the slow and lap truck, just up ahead, but think he's just gotten one of his laps back just because he does have fresh tires. He was able to drive past these lead trucks. Snyder noses out in front. Now it's Winker and James Ray for the second spot. Ray jumps in behind the 42. Chris Watkins is behind Ray. Race leader on the outside by himself, but with some help, maybe a little bit of a push and maybe some draft assist. Winker alongside has the advantage into turn 3. Awful racy here at Texas Motor Speedway, and very early on. With all that said, you're going to start seeing some more green flag stops, regardless of those that made their pit stop on that first caution. Yeah, they were able to top off. But as Bill Harkins mentioned early on, 29 to 31 laps the race distance. I think that caution came out around lap 4, I want to say. Drew Blaze still in the 19th position, 1 lap down. Dan Storm is in the pit lane. He'll pick up a spot here in just a minute from the 81. Winker continues to lead. Starting to settle here at the front of the field. Drew Blaze up a spot now. Drew Blaze is a ways back here, maybe a couple of corners, but he's on fresher tires. He's running faster laps. He may be able to take this lap back on his own, but with time. We got Sean Arita saying, "Go Winker." And now I want a margarita. Thanks, Sean. Kevin Winker still out in front, quarter a second advantage over the 29 of Snyder. James Ray about the same distance back from Snyder in third. Chris Watkins, Ed Marshall, your top 5, at least for the time being. TJ Lane now cracking the top 10. Just behind Brian Shepard and Brett Guzik. Guzik in the 8th spot. Let's give a call to Justin Johnson in the X10. Justin's up from the 18th position, running 7th. Running a partial schedule this season. Real life conflicts. The reason for that, can't say that I blame him. He's had a decent season when he is available to race, though. And there we see it, Drew Blaze is a couple of turns away from these top 3 drivers here just a few laps ago, but very quickly has closed the gap. Now he's underneath Kevin Winker here into turns 3 and 4. He's going to take back the lap, so if the caution were to come out, he's going to get back for free. Driver into the fence, James Ray. We thought we saw something there with himself and Heath Snyder. Both drivers a little slightly off the pace here at lap 40, coming to 41 when it happened. Maybe a tick of right side damage on the James Ray machine as Brett Guzik hits pit lane. Guzik stops a little bit shy in the box, right side in the air, fuel going in. New Goodyear Racing Eagles going on. Drops the jack and down he goes. 14.73, the pit stop for Brett Guzik. Good stop. On a turn 2 down the back straightaway once again. Kevin Winker now enjoying a 0.6 of a second advantage over the 5 of Chris Watkins. Ed Marshall 3rd. Justin Johnson now jumps to the 4th spot. Kevin Grettenberger now 5th. Remember Heath Snyder and James Ray coming together at one point, slowing their momentum. Again, I think Snyder or Ray, or both, might have gotten into the safer barrier slightly. around on the racetrack. Remember, Winker's pit stop coming at lap 17. Say within the next 3 to 5 laps, you're going to see the leaders start to hit pit lane here. Watkins closing the gap now, under 0.3 of a second. And there he is, Winker pulling down out of turn 4. He's going to make his pit stop under the green flag. Really trying to get her wound up. Hopefully he didn't get popped for speeding. Locked the rear tires up. Had his hands full, swatting flies in the cockpit of that number 42 Chevrolet. Does he have to back it up here? Is he too deep in the box? No, right side goes up in the air. Just made it into the pit box without having to back it up. 4 tires and fuel for Kevin Winker. Again, hit pit lane as the race leader, drops the jack. And he did not get her slowed down in time. Too fast entering for the 42 of Kevin Winker. Meanwhile, Kevin Grettenberger is going to roll down into his pit stall. Perfectly stopped, centered in the box, right side's going. Grettenberger drops the jack, he's down and away. 15.05. Winker is just now leaving the pits. A great pit stop, 14.60 seconds. But when you add the 40-second penalty, it's a day ender. I guess you can't say it's a true day ender. I mean, he's still got a chance here, but we're just about halfway. He's got work to do if he's going to make up that time. Chris Watkins, now your new race leader with a 1.5 second advantage over Justin Johnson. Top 9 drivers made their pit stops last at or after lap 16. Ken Couch, the only driver pitting at lap 16, but he was involved in the caution at the time. Justin Johnson's going to pull off and hit pit lane. Justin was running second at the time of this pit stop. Oh, almost too deep in the box. Gets it in there just perfect. Changing right sides, he's going to have a tough time trying to get out. Justin Johnson back in the fray. Meanwhile, Brian Shepard, your new race leader. Watkins, TJ Lane, Jared Haynes, Chris Klein, all in the pits. Four tires and fuel for Chris Watkins. Pit work complete, drops the jack down, it goes 14.83 the time. Drew Blaze, after his very early stop, after not stopping on the first caution, has inherited the second position and will re-inherit the top spot as Brian Shepard pulls down pit lane. It's Alina. All right, got it. Thanks. It's bad enough I got to figure out how to say all these guys' names out here on the track. Now I got to do it in the stream chat. So Drew Blaze, your race leader. Green flag pit stops just about cycled through here at Texas Motor Speedway. We're going to step aside and get an HBR TV side-by-side break. Stay with us. You won't miss a moment of the action. We'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Texas Motor Speedway, 58 laps complete. Drew Blaze continues to lead over Brett Guzik. The advantage 8.5 seconds. I just got to wonder here if Drew Blaze put the time in this week to practice and figure out fuel strategies and calculations and the whole 9 yards, because he was the only driver to stay out on the racetrack during that first caution. Didn't take any extra fuel, which made him have to make his pit stop. I think it was about lap 31, where everybody else stayed on the racetrack. He was back in the 19th position, a lap down at that point in time. Here we are, 28 laps later, lap 60. Blaze, your race leader, with a healthy margin of 8.5 seconds. How things have changed and how quickly they have changed. Derek Welch says, tried to join the race tonight, but iRacing won't let me join hosted matches. Leagues are or nothing. Guess my computer is tired of the drama too. And speaking of drama, Drew Blaze spins the truck out on pit entry. That wasn't part of the plan. Good news is he had 8.5 seconds to play with. But with the strategy that he's on, who knows? Oh, he's running out of fuel too. Drew Blaze, I think that was a last-minute, last-ditch effort. Oh, man, I got to come to pit road. I'm running out of gas. Remember, his pit stop was at lap 32, I think it was, and that's his lap 60, the end of lap 60, that he comes down pit road. 28 laps, that's not a long way to go. We thought the fuel window was probably 29 to 31. Drew Blaze finishes up his pit stop. Last set of tires going on as well. He's got to go 38 laps at the end of this race. So Blaze back in 16th. First truck 1 lap down, so he's honestly not in a bad spot. He does have fresh tires on. He's in the free pass position. So really where he's at right now is pretty much where he was early on when he made that pit stop when nobody else did. He was in a bad way, but he was in 18th a lap down. Now he's 16th a lap down. And all the drivers out here are going to need to make yet another stop. However, that's true for Drew Blaze as well. Pit stop came at lap 60, so he can go most. If he starts saving, he might be able to stretch it to 90. But at this point, knowing you're going to have to stop anyway, you're better off just kind of throwing caution to the wind and just going for it. Burn up the fuel the best that you can and just pit when you have to. Don't know how this is going to cycle out. He still might be okay, but time will tell. Matt Sisler in the stream chat. Hi, Steve and chat. That is uncharacteristic of Drew to have that style of pit entry. That's more something I do. Well, Matt, like I said, it was out of fuel too, so my guess is entry to turn 3, middle of 3 and 4. Maybe it started to skip on him. Maybe he didn't pay any attention to how much fuel he had on board and had to make a last-second audible to hit pit lane. That's my guess. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him post-race. If that's the case, we'll find out. But he's got work to do. Remember, point standings coming into tonight. Drew Blaze 929 to the 882 of Chris Watkins. I think technically Drew just had to start the race and not, he didn't even need to score any points. I think if he scored any points right off the bat, they could guarantee a championship. So he can risk being the way that he's being right now as far as strategy is concerned, pushing the limits. We'll find out when it's all said and done. Meanwhile, back out front, James Ray. Blaze back on the lead lap now in 15th. Watkins running second. I mean, right now, Watkins is doing just about everything he can, everything that he has to do to be in position to take a championship here. James Ray doing the same. As I said, I think Drew, all he had to do was show up here and fire the engine, and I think he had it locked up. Battle for the race lead here at lap 69. James Ray still out in front of the 5 of Watkins. Both these drivers enjoying a 3.4 second advantage over Kevin Grettenberger. Well, now that I know that I've got Matt Sisler in the chat, I'm going to put it on Sisler to dive into the stats here if he can and find out if Drew Blaze had this thing locked up mathematically or if he still had to finish the race, what the situation is with the points battle. I know we saw what the points were. But Sisler, if you're listening, I know you're good with those stats. Help us out. Meanwhile, Brett Guzik just finishing up his pit stop. Now Guzik should be good to go to the end here if he saves just a little. Lap 71. Bill Harkin said 29 to 31 was the fuel window. Again, we saw Drew Blaze run out after 28. Maybe he just didn't get it full. Guzik back out on the track here. Should be good to go to the end. Got Elizabeth Mitchum in the chat. Come on, 93, cheering on Mitchell Howell. Howell back in the 12th spot, number 93. Back out front, the battle's still hot and heavy between these two drivers, Ray and Watkins. It's not getting any bigger. Just over a tenth of a second between the top two. Watkins keeps dipping the nose of his truck to the left side, taking a look. TJ Lane's going to hit pit lane here. TJ's always got such a cool paint scheme on his truck. He does all these paints, I believe, himself. Definitely sharp. Four tires and fuel for the 96. TJ back in the fight. Just a truck length between the 00 and the 5. At the stripe, 26 to go. Kevin Grettenberger pulls down for his final stop, as does Chris Klein. Be 4 tires and fuel for Chris Klein, his last stop of the day, with a little bit of insurance in case we get a green-white checkered. Mind you, we do have the option for 2 green-white checkers if necessary. Heath Snyder, the number 29, he's making his final stop as well. Top 4 drivers now going to be top 5 drivers, still need to make their pit stop. Snyder a little deep in the pit stall, but not too far. That's good. Snyder drops the jack down and away. 15.15 seconds. Not a great stop as the crew had to go a little bit further forward than they had planned. James Ray from the race lead. He's in the pits as well for the final time. Last set of tires going on the 00. This is where we're going to see where Drew Blaze cycles back through. Or if he cycles back through. He made another pit stop here at lap 74 for fuel. That was the one at Drew Blaze. That's the one that we knew he was going to have to make. Chris Watkins now still out on the track. Your new race leader. He's going to pick up some points for doing just that. Jared Haynes, Ed Marshall, Ken Couch, the top 4, all still needing to pit. Ed Marshall now pulls down to pit lane. Right sides only for Ed Marshall. 12.17 seconds for the 16. Jared Haynes now into the pit lane, number 89. And Chris Watkins from the race lead. This is going to give the race lead back to Brett Guzik. His pit stop coming at lap 69. That's the question. Does Brett have enough fuel to go all the way to the end here? Oh, and Watkins overshoots the pit box, has to back it up. That's going to cost him a few seconds at least. That's a ton of time on the racetrack. And it's a 4-tire stop for Watkins. Very costly. Once he got to the box, it was 14.72, but he lost 2 or 3 seconds at least. So Brett Guzik, your new race leader here with 20 and a half laps to go. He's got 1.6 seconds over the 00 of James Ray. The question will remain, does Brett Guzik have enough tire in the tank to get all the way to the finish line of this one here in 20 laps, making his stop at lap 69 of 100 laps? Bill Harkins in the chat early on mentioned 29 to 31 laps was the fuel window. However, we did see Drew Blaze run his out of fuel after about 28 laps. Obviously, Drew probably in a situation where either A, he was just pushing the whole run, not saving fuel in the slightest, and or maybe he didn't get it full. Everybody's completed their pit stops here. 19 laps to go. Yeah, there you hear it. Let's ride on board with Brett Guzik. Sounds like he's starting to save some fuel. Lift and coast. No, not this time. Lift and coast. See the big gauge in the center of the dash. Drops down to about 1,500. He's not out of the throttle very long because he still needs to maintain a gap back to the 00 of James Ray. And that gap continues to shrink. It's 0.8 of a second. Guzik did take tires on his stop. So did James Ray, but there's about a 7-lap differential between the age of those tires. However, Ray only took rights. Guzik took 4. See how that pans out as this race gets closer and closer to its conclusion. Laps to go, 15 and a half if we're going to be real specific here. Guzik maintaining a 0.4 of a second advantage over the 00 of James Ray. I don't know. If I'm Brett Guzik and Ray catches me, if he gets right there, I'm going to let him go. I'm going to draft the 00 for a little while, save some fuel. Again, we're running out of laps, but draft him a little bit. Wait for those right sides on the 00 machine to start to wear out, because knowing the left sides are even older, Guzik with 4 fresh tires on his pit stop. These guys could be relatively equal as far as car's ability is concerned, or truck that is. Guzik might be able to make an attack there, but there he is, James Ray. Less than a truck length off the back bumper of Brett Guzik here, coming to 14 laps to go. Oh, to the inside goes James Ray for the race lead in turns 1 and 2. What did I tell you? If I'm Brett Guzik, when he gets there, I'm going to let him go. Well, maybe not. He's not letting him go. Trying to side draft him down the backstretch into turn 3. I think Ray might have it. No, Guzik's still there. A little bit of contact. Up the racetrack goes Guzik. With a lot of James Ray in the bottom. He's chasing it off of turn 4. 13 laps to go. Still the battle for the race lead. Front of the field, Brett Guzik up top. Now he slips up the racetrack. He's going to let James Ray go by. Ray, your new race leader here with 12 and a half laps to go. Back to the point. James Ray puts 3.5, now 4/10 on Brett Guzik through turns 1 and 2. 2 tires on the truck. Might have been the winning strategy here. We'll see. We've still got to get 11.5 laps in. Ray's cruising away from the 04 of Brett Guzik. TJ Elaine fighting with Heath Snyder for the 3rd spot. Snyder on the bottom, the number 29. Elaine up top, the 96. Both of these drivers opting for 4 tires at the time of their final stop. Snyder's was 3 laps later, so his tires are that much newer, and it's starting to show. Snyder up into the 3rd position. The next on his list is going to be the 04 of Brett Guzik. You know what would really complicate things is our caution. Snyder looking to the bottom here on the 04 for the 2nd spot. Guzik goes up the track. Looks like he's going to lose 2 out of this. I think TJ Elaine's alongside out of turn number 2. It's a drag race down the backstretch. Elaine still to the inside. Meanwhile, we check on Drew Blaze. He's still on the lead lap here, but back in 14th, taking fuel only on his final stop. Just got to wonder how badly that semi-spin into pit lane really hurt the one. Lane drops it to the bottom. Almost got into the 5 of Watkins. He clears Brett Guzik, but Watkins is going to take care of both of them, take the 3rd spot. Goes by Elaine and Guzik in one corner. Top 3 with 9 to go. James Ray, Heath Snyder, Chris Watkins. Then it's TJ Elaine, Brett Guzik, the top 5. Drew Blaze still in the 14th spot. Definitely going to score enough points here, I think, here to stay as your points leader and your eventual champion. Kevin Winker in the stream chat. Well, that one stings. Had a fast truck. Speeding first stop and then lost focus and hit the wall. Now a lap down. Bill Harkin saying cautions breed cautions. We haven't had one in a while. I guess the question is, does anybody have tires left? I don't think so. I think everybody is going to sleep in the beds that they have made to this point. Chris Watkins in the 3rd spot, really pushing that truck hard. He wants that 2nd spot and more if he can get it. God forbid you don't push hard for the position and for whatever strange reason, say James Ray loses it, crashes the truck, and now all of a sudden that 2nd position becomes the race leader. Five laps to go from Texas Motor Speedway, the Howell Graphics Truck Series season. Watkins all over the back bumper, almost making contact, had to lift considerably to avoid getting into Snyder. It's a home track for Chris Watkins. To go. Watkins seems faster. It really does. Oh, and he gets into him. Around they go. Do they spin out? No. He just forces his way to the bottom. Snyder saves the truck, and we avoid the caution. But, man, the 29's not going to be happy about that. 3.5 laps to go. Chris Watkins up to the 2nd position. He needs all the points he can get, but I think it's too little too late. 3 laps to go from Texas Motor Speedway. James Ray still out in front as Dan Storm hits the pit lane again. Agonizing pit stop for the 81. This one started off poorly for him right off the bat, being in here late, not able to qualify, topping off for fuel, splash and go to finish this one out. James Ray out of turn number 4. Going to see 2 laps to go as he approaches the 79 of Jarrett Woodard. I'm just massively impressed that Snyder and Chris Watkins both didn't end up in the outside wall when they made contact. I still think Snyder's not going to be happy about it, but nonetheless, we stay green. Just got to get back to the white here. James Ray out of turn number 4. White flag is waving. Final lap from Texas Motor Speedway, and James Ray, final lap of the season of the Howell Graphics Truck Series and the LSR Gaming X Lonestar Shootout 100. Final time down the backstretch for James Ray. Watkins still runs second, Snyder in third. Drew Blaze in the 14th spot, should have the championship locked up. But the race win out of turn number 4, James Ray into the dog leg across the stripe. He wins at Texas Motor Speedway. Second place, Chris Watkins. Third goes to Heath Snyder. Before we get too deep into this, I just don't want to forget to thank Lonestar Racing. You guys have put on an amazing season. Fuel strategy abound. 1 caution tonight. We had great racing across the board. Bravo, guys. Bravo. James Ray lighting them up here on the front stretch. Drew Blaze down the backstretch. Bill Harkin saying congrats, thanks for the broadcast. Great job, nice clean race. Bill, thanks for the kind words, man. I'll check the email here, hopefully tonight. If not tomorrow, we'll be in touch. Drew Blaze parks it here in the front stretch here. I'm unofficial your new champion. And I think Drew has just gotten the word. James Ray wins the race. Blaze wins the title. He's going to run this till it blows up. Well, that's one way to do it. We're going to step aside here, get a break out of the way, be back with our top 3 finishers and Drew Blaze after this. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Texas Motor Speedway for the conclusion of the LSR Gaming X Lonestar Shootout 100. Final race of the season of the Howell Graphics Truck Series, and Drew Blaze, not a great finish, 14th, but it's plenty to take home the championship title here tonight. Drew Blaze, pull him up at the broadcast booth real quick, get a word with him first prior to our top three. Drew, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Drew, congratulations. It was a hard-fought season. You came in here with a huge points cushion. Walk us through your race. It seems like you had a differing strategy from just about everybody else in the field. It seemed like it might have worked out for you, but then trouble on pit entry. Walk us through that, and was there anything that you could have done differently?
Yeah, there's not much I could do. I knew kind of adding things up in my head, and I knew I would have to make an extra pit stop for fuel, and so just going out there, giving it everything I got, and and then just me messing up on pit road didn't help me either. So, but I'm not disappointed in it. It's we've been consistent all season. It's kind of like a wild card for me, and I come here and race however I want and just have fun and let these other guys go at it.
Well, it seemed like you had fun in mind as soon as we saw the paint scheme on the truck here tonight, not your typical colors. What was the mindset behind the Victoria's Secret scheme?
Yeah, it's just a fun scheme, man, and we our guys over here, we always have funny little paint schemes or innuendos or whatever on our paint scheme somewhere in there, and I was like, you know what, why don't I just I didn't have time to make up anything, so I just went out there and went on trading paints, and it's kind of found something that would be fitting, but other people would find funny, and it's just a fun thing. Tonight was all about fun for me.
Well, it was a fun race to watch. Honest to God, start to finish. We only had that one caution, but this race was a fun one to call. You guys did a great job, and truthfully, you have all season long. I mentioned it before we even got to the commercial break here at the end of the race, but you guys put on an excellent season this year. Really looking forward to the next. And again, good job here. Congratulations on the championship, Drew. Who do you want to thank?
Yeah, first and foremost, I just got to give a shout out to all our drivers. It's been a fantastic season. There hasn't been, much wrecking or, guys arguing or anything. If there was anything, any issues that we took care of and made sure everybody was happy. And I think this went about as perfectly as it could have gone. So yeah, just want to give a shout out to all of our drivers out there. You guys are great. I hope you guys come back for next season. I also got to thank Lonestar Racing, Justin, Mike, Keaton, Ken, Kenneth, PJ, just all my guys. They're a fantastic group of guys. Wouldn't rather be anywhere else. I got to thank Garza Law Firm for sponsoring us all season. It does look like that's going to come to an end, so we'll see what's in store for 2024 here. And I got to thank you for everything you do and the broadcast and everybody out there watching. It's been a fantastic season. Thank you guys for supporting us. And and I want to make an announcement that next truck season I will not be running. So I will be doing stuff behind the scenes and trying to bring a better product for you, Steve, and all the people out there, and for our guys. And we're gonna take a little bit of a break from the trucks. I may run in the Cup Series. I'm not sure yet, but that's where we're at right now.
Well, sorry to hear that you're not going to be back in the truck, but you mentioned the next season, and the last that I had heard, that was going to be a Cup Series season. But before I get too far into that, why don't you fill us in what you can, at least, as far as the details about next season, whether it's for drivers that might be interested or even just the fans that are out here watching the broadcast here tonight.
Yeah, so we run 2 seasons a year, and that's, we run a Cup season and then we run a truck season. I may run in the Cup Series, maybe like part-time here and there, but mostly just kind of put myself and my racing on the back burner with everything I got going on in real life. And guys, we got clean racing. We got fantastic drivers. There hasn't been any ego issues or anything like that. A lot of fun, a lot of clean racing. If you guys want to come and join us, anybody's welcome. Any skill level, we accept anybody. As long as you're a clean driver and you leave the ego at the door. So if you guys want to come run with us, whether it's our Cup Series, which starts up in, we had a little bit of a gap between, I think it's January, we're starting the Cup Series, so. But, and then after our Cup Series, we move on to the Truck Series. So whatever you guys are interested in, come out and join us. We're a great group of guys. Obviously, you can see here by our product, we have a great group of drivers. So anybody's welcome.
Well, Drew, again, congratulations on wrapping up another championship here. You guys have done an excellent job. It's been a blast to cover it. One of my favorite leagues, certainly, to cover over the years. And honestly, one of my longer tenured leagues to cover. So that's saying something. You guys always put out a good product. I think it's better and better season after season. So I certainly thank you guys for that.
Oh, thank you for everything you do. Believe me, we, I don't think we would be where we're at without everything that you do too, Steve. So. Nothing short of a great job that you do up in the booth there and put on a show for everybody out there and make us look better than we actually are.
Well, Drew, again, congratulations on the title here tonight. Good luck for everything you're doing, even behind the scenes here going forward. And I'm kind of disappointed that I'm not going to see you out there in the next seasons, at least full time.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but sometimes you just gotta have a break here and there, and I've been doing this, and I've been on iRacing for over 10 years. So it's sometimes you just got to take breaks and think of other people and try to make it better for them. And that's what I'm aiming to do.
Well, all right, Drew. Again, congratulations. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck in your future endeavors in iRacing, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Steve. Drew
Blaze, your champion here in the Holographics Truck Series. And without further ado, let's go to James Ray, our race winner. Talk to the driver of the 00. Get a word with James Ray. James, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got me?
Yes, sir, I do.
James, congratulations, man. Incredible job here tonight. Started in the 7th spot and just slowly but surely chipped away through strategy and some raw speed. And you take the checkered flag here tonight. No title, but a race win. That's about as close as you can come to having a good time here tonight. How'd you do it? What was the strategy? Walk us through your race.
Well, mainly it was just taking those 2 tires at last stop and getting out in front of Chris, because I know I had damage from a little earlier on incident, and I never took the fast repair, so I don't know if it slowed me down a little bit, but he stayed on me on that second to last run there, so I knew I had to do something. We were sitting there talking strategy. I just didn't tell him I was taking 2 tires on him.
So let's go back a little bit here to that incident. I think it was with the 29. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So you guys made some contact. We didn't catch the initial impact, but you guys both went up the racetrack, and did you get into the wall at that point or no?
Yeah, I touched it, but it's 0X. I don't know how bad. It didn't really knock the toe out of it, but I don't know if it gave me some aero or not, but I barely got into it because, I knew we were touching because I was trying to pinch him for everything I had, and he wasn't going to give much room either. That's just hard racing in Texas on old tires.
Well, from what we saw, I didn't even see any scrapes on the right side of the truck. That's why we really weren't sure if you made any contact there, but it worked out in the end. You take the checkered flag here tonight, so congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
With all that said, I know this is the Truck Series, and the next season coming up for Lonestar Racing is going to be in the Cup Series. Do you have any intentions of coming back and run that with these guys?
Yeah, I think we all plan on coming back and running with you guys for that, so I think that's next on the agenda.
Certainly looking forward to it. James, again, congratulations tonight on the race win and a wonderful season. Who do you want to shout out to that helps you get to this point this year?
I'll shout out Lonestar for putting this on and you for broadcasting it, just getting our name out there more to people, and, Chris always for giving me my paints every race.
All right, James. Well, that's going to do it for us here, man. Thanks for chatting with us, and good luck going into next season.
Thanks, sir.
James Ray, your race winner here tonight. Next up, talk to the runner-up, Chris Watkins, driver of the number 5 machine. Chris, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got me?
I got you, bud.
Chris, congratulations, man. A runner-up finish. You did just about all that you had to do here tonight, but it just wasn't enough. Drew Blaze having just too much of a points lead coming into tonight, but it was a good race. It was fun to watch. Very entertaining. You took 4 tires versus James taking 2. He got the track position on you on that final run. Walk us through that final run here in tonight's race. Obviously some contact with the 29 of Heath Snyder. I guess let's talk about that first. What was the issue there? Any bad blood between you two, or was that just an incident and it is what it is?
No, actually we raced clean all season. I felt like 2 laps in that run, I got behind him and he blocked me twice, and after that, I was just like, I'm gonna tap him, right? Because I knew I had fresher tires, and I had to get James, and it was holding me up. So I just tapped him a little bit, got him a little squirrely going in there, and he managed to save it. Which I have no bad blood against him. I was trying to get to the win.
Kind of what we expected here up in the booth. It was late in the running, and we knew you had about 4 or 5 lap fresher tires in the 29. He was able to save it. We've seen that out of Snyder a bunch of times this season. Of course, we're going to ask him the same questions. But with all that said, truck season was a blast to watch this year. You guys did a great job. Drew Blaze not coming back, at least in a full-time capacity, for the next Cup season. That's starting off here in January. Do you have any intentions of running in the Cup Series next year?
I'm on the fence about it. With work schedule and stuff, I don't know if I'll be able to make it all the races. So we'll just have to see how it goes after the holidays.
Well, let's take a look at it. If you can make it, awesome. If you can't, definitely unfortunate. It was a strong run this season. Fun to watch you guys, certainly every single week. And a strong run here to the finish here tonight. Chris, who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Man, shout out to you guys for broadcasting, Lonestar for putting it on. My teammate James, I've been after trying to beat him for years now, and I still can't get it done. I'm knocking on the door though, but we'll get there eventually. And Tri-City Speed, and just great job on the season. This has been a blast.
With that said, I don't know if you heard James's interview or not, but he said that you guys were talking strategy quite a bit, but he wasn't going to tell you that he was taking rights only.
No, he didn't. He he kept that one to himself, and I missed my pit stall by a little bit. I had to back up, so I was like, "Oh man, you're gonna get me now." He's like, "Well, I took 2 tires." So I was like, "Oh man, you're gone." So he held that to the last minute.
I hate to say it, but unfortunately for you in that aspect, that might have been the difference maker. Because what did you do? You finished, what, 3/10 behind him?
Yeah. I'm gonna get him eventually. I swear I'm gonna get him.
That mistake probably cost you 2 or 3 seconds, so that's unfortunate, Chris. But either way, man, a strong season. It was impressive. Fun to watch you guys certainly all season long. Good luck going into whatever you do in the future, man.
Thanks, man.
Chris, thanks for talking to us. Congratulations. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Just you guys in Lonestar Racing. This has been great.
Yeah, I think I already asked you that, didn't I?
Yeah, we're good.
It's been a long day.
I bet.
All right, Chris, thanks for chatting, man. Good luck.
See you.
Chris Watkins, your second place finisher here at Texas Motor Speedway. Last but not least, we'll talk to Heath Snyder, driver number 29. Get his take on everything that happened in the closing run here at Texas Motor Speedway. Heath, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Heath, congratulations, man. A strong run here tonight. Started 4th, finished 3rd. Looked like you had an opportunity to finish a little higher than 3rd, but some contact between you and the 5. Walk us through it from your perspective. He called out a couple of blocks, and then he just said he had to go for it. You were holding him up. How did it look like from your perspective?
Well, I can start off by saying I'm not happy about it, but I get it. We were both racing for points there, and I don't know where I'll end up, but I think I got 4th or 3rd in points. So I was racing for every point I could get there, but I feel like he sent it in a little harder than he should have, because that was more of a punting to the left rear than just a nudge. So, but I get it. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not mad at him for it.
So with that, let's go back a little further. A little bit of contact between yourself and James Ray. Again, we didn't see it per se on the broadcast. It was more of the aftermath. How did it look like from your perspective with the contact with the 00?
Yeah, so that felt like we got stuck together. Like, I know he was pinching me, but like we made slight contact, and then it just felt like we stuck, and I couldn't get back off him. Like, I was out of the throttle, and the truck just kept going up. But I wasn't quite sure if that was on me or not, so when he was able to catch back up to me, I did the kind thing and let him by.
What a guy. With all that said, man, it's been fun to watch all of you guys, not just the top 3, but it's been a good season here to watch, certainly. And I just have to ask, are you guys going to come back here and run the Cup Series next season, coming up in January?
I will not be here for Cup. I'll be focusing on Road to Pro at that point, so no leagues during that time.
Well, very good. Either way, if the next Truck Series tends to kick off here before or after Road to Pro is all said and done, hopefully you come back and run that with us. It's been a blast to watch you out here in that number 29 truck, man.
Oh, thank you. I definitely plan on returning for the Truck Series, but yeah, we'll have to skip the Cup for now, and we'll see how things work out.
Well, Heath, again, congratulations. 3rd place finish here at Texas. Who do you want to thank before we let you get going?
I just gotta thank the guys back at Elliott Sadler Esports, and all the sponsors on the truck with Don Wheaton, Bruzy, Racer, and Grid Vision and all of them. So I appreciate what they do for me and glad to represent them.
All right, Heath. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck at Road to Pro, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. You guys have a good one.
It's Heath Snyder, your third-place finisher here at Texas Motor Speedway. That's going to wrap up the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's take a look here at our race results. Of course, we talked to our top 3 finishers, James Ray, Chris Watkins, Heath Snyder. Then TJ Elaine finishes in the 4th spot. Kevin Grettenberger was 5th. Brian Shepard finished in the 6th spot. A strong top 10 for Justin Johnson. Chris Klein was 8th. Brett Guzik finished in the 9th spot. 10th was Jared Haynes. Mitchell Howell in the 11th spot. Sean Roberts finished 12th. Ed Marshall 13th. Drew Blaze was 14th and still took home the championship, the last car on the lead lap. Ken Couch was 15th. Brandon Domain was 16th. 17th finisher was Ken Blackburn. Jarrett Woodard was 18th. Dan Storm, after a late addition to the race tonight, was 19th. Kevin Winker 20th after some mistakes. And 21st, 55 laps down, was Randy Coaching. Tough night for him, but again, a solid season for everybody here in this Lone Star Racing Howell Graphics Truck Series. As they all mentioned here, coming up here in the let's say January. It's going to be hellacious winter time at that point, but we're going cup racing here with Lone Star Racing. Sponsors to be announced in the future, but that will be broadcasted here, already confirmed at HBR TV, so make sure you guys tune in for it for the next season. Again, coming up in January 2024. Lone Star Racing putting on a Cup Series, and then we're going to go back truck racing after that. So thank you guys all for tuning in here this evening and throughout the season. The stream chat has been a blast to keep up with and watch. Let's see, last one here with Bill Harkins. We talked about Esports Gaming Network. What a blast of a race. We tried so hard to talk to Steve and get a podium. Cannot wait till January. Again, I think that's TJ Elaine's aspect of things. I'm almost certain that's him, but I haven't got confirmation on that yet. But either way, yeah, we're excited for January too, whether it's the next Gen Cup car or even the Gen 6 Cup car. I kind of like that one a lot, but we'll cover whatever. It is what it is. These guys, they put on a good show. It doesn't matter what kind of race car that they are in. It's a blast to watch. So with all that said, make sure you guys like the stream if you haven't already done so. That is something that is free. It is easy. And it helps us more than you even know. Just click that like button, youtube.com/@HBRTV1. Also, check us out on the website, hbrtv1.com. There's contact forms there if you're looking to have us cover one of your leagues in iRacing, or if you just want to say, hey, whatever, send us an email. I'm good with that. Whatever works for you guys. But for that, that's going to wrap it up for us here at Texas Motor Speedway. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, congratulating James Ray on the race win, and a big congratulations to Drew Blaze in taking home the championship of the Howell Graphics Truck Series. Thanks for watching this season, guys. Don't forget, next week, provided we have enough drivers in the field, okay, we have the Drought Buster, okay, same place. It's going to be Lone Star Racing. It's going to be on Thursday, same time, just like a regular league race, but it's going to consist of all the drivers that haven't won a race this season. So if we get enough drivers to broadcast it, we will be live. It is already scheduled on our end. So as long as they get enough to show up, we'll be live here next Thursday, HBR TV, for the Drought Buster. So tune in for that. Should be a fun one to watch. It's always a blast. Get an extra new winner. Thanks, guys. We'll see you at the next one. Take care.